Hello and welcome to today's video. My name is Narena Ebel, and today I want to tell you something that actually worked for me while I was looking for remote jobs and I had to take some interviews. Now, during that job interview, as as a freelancer or as a digital marketer, and I applied for that remote job, and they asked me this tricky question, right? They asked me this question: why is there a gap in your resume? Because I could remember after leaving the banking sector, I had to take a little few months break to rest before I start working, like before I go back to working again. And within that period, I was doing much of training, so there was a gap in my resume for a couple of months. So they asked me why there was a gap in my resume. Now, most candidates panic here, like I was also panicking when they asked me that. Some people would just say, I just couldn't find a job, or I had some personal issues, or I just took a break. Now, listen to this. Here is the truth. This isn't an interrogation, actually. It is a test of your narrative. They want to know what you would say, how you narrate it. Okay? So instead of sounding defeated, you can actually frame a gap as growth, right? There's a gap and you were not actually working at that period of time. So that gap could actually be a season of growth. For example, now you could say, I took time to intentionally upskill, right, in my skills as a ghostwriter, in my skill as a digital marketer. You can pick a niche from that digital marketing that you were upscaling in, or you understand perfectly well how to use it or how to do it, and use that as a reference. Or you can actually say, I wanted to enter my next role as an expert, not a novice. And that was actually why I took a break, because I was using YouTube to learn, like self-teaching myself on YouTube, using YouTube videos. So you could use that. Or if you were a freelancer, or if you were freelancing at that particular period of time, you could actually say, I spend the time consulting for early stage startups. There's nothing actually wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. You could actually say that it taught me how, you could say it taught me how to wear multiple hats and solve problems with zero resources. Because working for startups, like consulting for startups, you're actually also gaining some experience, even though there is a window or there's a gap. There's that gap that you were not within that particular period that you were not working. And if it was for family reasons, sometimes you could stay off working for some family reasons. So you can also be honest with that, right? You can be honest to say that it was actually for family reason, but you can say it this way, that I stepped away to care for a family member. That situation is now stable, and I am fully ready to refocus 100% more on my career, right? Or focus my energy more on working again as a freelancer. Now, frame your gap as learning. Frame your gap as a growing stage. Frame your gap your gap as preparing for your next role. Don't make it look like you were just idle and not doing anything at that particular point in time. So if you have enjoyed this video, follow me for part 2, where I will show you ways to turn a gap into a growth, or how you can turn your gap into a growth story that would actually not sound ideal, but sound as a growth process. My name is Narena Ebel. Thank you very much for watching, and see you in my next video. Bye.